Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Chandie. Welcome back to the Chandie Speaks podcast. Back another week. We're just getting into it. It's so weird for me to start these things because just starting it. Anyway, I'm here. We're back. How's everyone doing? Good, really? How was your week? Oh gosh. So obviously I'm a little high. I got some weed in my system. I'm a little goofy right now. I'm just trying to get through this podcast because it's Wednesday. I think it's... What fucking day is it? It's Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. I normally record this the night before, but I literally I didn't. I just got too tired and I've been working a lot. I would have recorded it today, but I've been working all day. I'm finally getting off of work and just settling in for the night. I had a beer, just fair warning. I have a beer in my system and obviously weed. That's just like my baseline. Not the beer part, the weed. But it's been nice. It's been nice having those things. Little addictions, my addictions. I feel like, man, I was talking about addictions last week and I remember saying that my addictions are contributing to my depression, my waves of depression. And this past week I was thinking, first of all, I am too spoiled. I kind of spoil myself a little bit. You can't be struggling, not really struggling, but not rich. I can't afford to have 3 different addictions. It's nicotine, weed, and alcohol. And I'm like, girl, who the fuck do you think you are? Either quit your bitching or quit, just stop one of those fucking addictions. Just thinking about that. So I think this week I have cut back on the alcohol, I would say. Cut back a little bit on the alcohol. I do get free beer at work. I work at a bar. It's really kind of hard for a so-called halfway recovering alcoholic. I don't know if I'm recovering. But I do know I have a drinking problem from time to time. And I get free drinks from work. So it's kind of hard to pass up a free drink. So this is me recording this part of my journey. That'll be interesting in another few weeks down the line. Another few episodes from now, you guys will probably see or hear about the repercussions of that. Well, it's been nice. Work's been fun. Work's been easy. I've just been chilling. I'm still here in Sedona, Arizona. I don't really have a podcast. Let me see. I was basically just going to read all my, was that only 5 minutes? That was a 5-minute intro. Whew, this might be a short one today. I don't know. I got to see if I feel good about it. Hold on. Let me get a drink. What happened this week? I stirred up a lot of shit on TikTok this week, per usual. Let me see what else happened this week. I got an oil change. Okay, that's good news, right? So I got my first oil change. I live in my van, and my first oil change since I got back from Colorado, I would say. I think my last oil change was in June. It was mid or late June when I got back to Georgia from Colorado. I drove to Colorado to register my van and renew my driver's license, and then I drove all the way back to Georgia, and then I got an oil change, and that was in June. And then since then, where are we right now? September, some shit? First week of September? It's my first time I was able to basically afford to go and get an oil change since I drove from Georgia over 2,000 miles and then some since I've been here. I've been here for 3 weeks. So that was nice to do. First off, I don't really like how I go to oil. When I go for an oil change, and maybe I'm just being a cheap ass or old school, but it's why are they trying to sell me everything? Bro, I'm just trying to get an oil change. They're like, oh, do you need a filter? Do you need your fucking pressure in your gas pump or some shit? And all and windshield wipers. It's can I just get an oil change? Can I just come for what I asked for? Why are you trying to are times hard right now for you guys? Really? People are always going to need at least an oil change. I don't know. They're always trying to I walked out of there yesterday and I paid $150 for an air filter, which I guess I did need. I mean, I haven't changed it since before I even drove to Colorado, so it was definitely time for that. But like $150 for an oil change and an air filter just seems a little like, fuck you guys. Just taking all my fucking money that you have to fucking take. Yeah. One time I went to get an oil change. This was somewhere in Georgia. And in Georgia, maybe it's just me, but I noticed, just being a van lifer, being someone who like is in and out of auto shops frequently because I live in my van, like, it seemed like Georgia had like more people who like knew about how to work on cars, like random fucking people in the street. Like everybody knew somebody. Oh, my cousin could change your alternator, type shit. I literally, this is not a lie, I got my alternator change in the middle of a Waffle House parking lot in Georgia. I got towed to a Waffle House parking lot from some guy who just had a random tow. He wasn't even like a business or anything. He just like, yeah, I can tow. And my big ass van got on this little ass fucking tow bed. And then they changed my alternator right there in the middle of the fucking parking lot. It seems like everybody in Georgia knows how to work on cars. And I remember I went to get an oil change one time in Georgia. It was probably the last time, actually. Now that I think about it, it was the last time I went to get an oil change, right after I got back from Colorado. Some bro was trying to like, I forgot what the hell it was. It was something with my fuel, my filter, or not my filter, my fucking, I don't fucking know. It was something. And he was like, you can cash app me. Respectfully. Like, I cash apped a fucking mechanic at a grease monkey in Georgia, to like do something with my fucking, I don't know what the hell they were doing. But I needed it, apparently. And I walked out there, last time I went to get an oil change, I walked out there paying $200. I just think that's just ridiculous. They did, like, 2 things, and then they were dogging me because they were like, you sure you don't need any fucking windshield wiper? And I was like, no, dude, you're already taking $200 of my money. And they were like, she said she doesn't need any windshield wipers. Like, dogging me for it. And I was like, wow. Grease monkey. Shout out to them. It was in Forsyth County. Y'all know who you are. Come on. It's just getting so expensive. Not really, it's getting more expensive. That's the lifestyle that I'm prepared, I'm prepared for. But I feel like some of them do try and get over on me because I don't really know that much about cars. You can tell me anything about my car and I'll be like, fuck, I need that. I need a fucking flywheel, and I'll pay for a fucking flywheel that I didn't need or something. These auto shops. Speaking of, so like my ESC light, any car people out there, I don't care if this is boring. This is just what's going on in my life right now. But my ESC light came on like 2 days ago. What day is it? Today is Wednesday. So it came on Monday night, Tuesday night, maybe a day ago or 2 days ago while I was driving. And I don't know what the fuck that is. It said ESC hill holder service. And I Googled it. All right. And I Googled it and it said an ESC hill holder service warning means the electronic stability control. ESC is electronic stability control and hill start assist hill holder systems are not functioning correctly, often due to an issue with sensors like the steering angle sensor or wheel speed sensors. This causes the ESC system, which helps prevent skidding, to disable, and the hill holder, which prevents rollback on inclines, to malfunction. The problem requires diagnosis with an OBD2 scanner to identify fault codes and address the underlying issue to restore the vehicle's safety features. Cool. So that's what I've been driving on for like maybe 24 hours, going on 48 hours right now. I'm remembering that there are a lot of hills. Who knew that this little mountain town was actually at like mountain elevation? And every time I drive in and out of Sedona, I'm either going up these fucking curvy mountains or I'm going down these curvy mountains. I'm doing a lot of curves and switchbacks, whatever the fuck they're called, downhill or uphill. I'm also, like, right now, I'm parked at a dispersed camping area that's just outside of Sedona, where I guess it's like a few hundred feet under the elevation of Sedona, and it's off of like a dirt path, and I have to go like sort of over these rocks and like sort of downhill, like a slope, to sort of get here. It's kind of in the cut right now, and I do that like 4 times a fucking week, where I'm going on these random dirt paths, and I'm just like, I think I need an alignment too. This is just my car shit that I've noticed that like my steering wheel is like going straight. I feel like I'm facing straight, but I'm not going straight, you know, like, so maybe my, going in and out of these dispersed camping areas and going up and down these wavy ass fucking hills may have something to do with my alignment and whatever this ESC, electronic stability control thing. I hope I don't like hurt myself. I drive pretty like grandma-y. I drive pretty safely, but, yeah, that's basically what I've been going through, the past couple days with my car. Every time I get an oil change, there's always something that happens, it seems like. So I'm grateful that what I need to do is go, and yeah, I'm grateful that the car is still running and still going right now, but while it's still going and running and giving me these casual warnings, I need to go and actually take it to like a, O'Reilly's or just one of these, tire fucking places. Someone told me that I may need to get my tires rotated, which makes sense, you know, because I have not had them rotated since I've owned this car, which is a little bit over a year. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, maybe that's something I need to do, is get my tires rotated. I don't want to be that bitch that's out here like, oh, I don't know. I have full coverage, so I can get a free tow anywhere. I think up to like 50 miles. I don't know how many, what's the range, but I got full coverage, so I'm not worried about breaking down or anything. I just want to take preventative measures. And I got to take it in, because I don't really like driving with that light on. It doesn't come on, like, every time I turn it off, it goes off, but when I turn it on and I hit a sharp turn or something like that, one of these waves, the light will come on. It's been, like, yeah, about 2 days. Car shit. So fucking annoying. And I don't know anything about cars, so I have to really, like, trust, like, the good faith and whatever human being or mechanic will work on my car. It's a big ass van. I was gonna get my tires rotated with an oil change, but the guy said that my van's too big. But not too big to get an oil change, but anyway. Alright, what else do I want to talk about before I get into my triggering posts this week? Paid some bills. That was adulting. Literally, my life is so boring. That's what I did this week. I paid some bills. I got to give my dog a bath. First time in Arizona. First time since we got into the state. So a few weeks. I don't remember when her last bath was. It's been a minute. I think last time I gave her a bath, it was probably in May, right before Mother's Day, in the back of a Waffle House. Shout out to the Waffle House that let me wash my dog in the back of with the hose. So that was fun. It was nice. We got a full moon this week. That was a beautiful full moon. Beautiful full moon. And where I'm parked at right now, it's like basically the middle of the fucking desert. And on the first night of the full moon, the moon came up around like 6:30, 6:45-ish. And it was right in front of me. There's like nothing. There's no buildings blocking. I'm like literally in the middle of the desert. And it was right in front of me. I was just so happened to be facing east. I was like, what? It looks so beautiful. Got some great pictures. Got some great drone pictures. Really, the pictures don't do them any justice. I'll be putting them on the video version of this episode. Most likely. Like I said, I'm normally have this episode uploaded in the morning, but time just got away from me. Just being in the moment, and here I am. I'm giving it to you now, so whatever. No one asked me to do this. I'm gonna pause this because I have to. All right. Let's just go. Okay. This should really go without saying. I'm getting on my content creator type shit right now, as the kids are saying. But follow me on Spotify if you're not already following me on Spotify. I know I have listeners on Spotify who are not following. I check my analytics. It's really good for me to just know who's listening and know who's out there. So follow me on Spotify if you're not already following me. Share, like, subscribe. I'm also on YouTube, Chandie Speaks, YouTube, and on Threads. I got into it with a couple people on Threads. I'm noticing, like, this weird, like, I don't know, it's just like the energy surrounding Threads right now, it seems like, or maybe just the post that I'm making, maybe that's it, maybe the post that I'm making, I don't know, maybe it's just everywhere. I feel like men are, like, triggered all across the board, and yeah, no matter what I say, it's like a man will come up and speak up, like, loudly and against women and stuff. Men are kind of, like, bitter, I've been noticing. Maybe my posts are kind of triggering. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, follow me on Spotify. Let's get into these posts. I did make a point to screenshot. I'm gonna go to Threads first. And I'm just gonna read over and basically kind of explain where my head was when I posted these these quotes. Let me see. That got most of the time I get crickets on Threads. I get crickets most of the time. So I know that whenever anyone, like, has any kind of interaction with the post that I make on Threads, I know that it's something that it's like it hits home to some people and it's like maybe valid and true. But yeah, I mostly get crickets. So this one that kind of got a little bit, I got like 3 hearts, which is a lot. It was dating shows are inherently toxic. I've talked about this on Van Life Diaries. Dating shows are inherently toxic. They foster feelings of inadequacy and jealousy, while also normalizing and glamorizing attachment and emotional manipulation, perpetuating unrealistic expectations, all leading to the idea that a woman's value is tied to her relationship status. I don't really think I need to explain, but yeah, I remember ranting about that on a Van Life Diaries episode. No one really commented on that one, but I'm pretty sure they were women that reacted to it. This is one on Threads that I didn't screenshot, obviously, all the comments. I just screenshot the post itself, and the top comments were right underneath. I said, women are more invested in the patriarchy than men are. And I remember having that, because I posted that on my Facebook like a year ago, and it got some reactions to it. It was right before the election, so people were in their feelings. I get it. So I did a test run now on Threads. That's basically how I do it. I take my good shit from back in the day and see how it plays out on Threads. And if it plays out decently on Threads, then it's good enough for TikTok. But some of the posts that I've posted on TikTok have slipped through the cracks on Threads and kind of blew up in a way that I didn't expect it to. But this one, when I said women are more invested in the patriarchy than men are, I don't remember the state of mind that I was in when I originally posted it a year ago. But as of right now, in this present moment, how I can describe what I feel like I meant when I posted that like 2 days ago was that women subconsciously or unconsciously, like, uphold or keep the patriarchy alive and well through their beliefs, their actions, their words, and so on and so forth. Then I had to define what's the patriarchy. So, and from what I understand, the patriarchy is basically, and this is in my layman's terms, patriarchy is basically systems or that are set in place, or societal standards that are set in place that basically put men as, like, in a hierarchical, like, position that make men have to be, like, they're above, or they have some kind of authority over, I guess, the women. I guess in layman's terms, that's how I would describe the patriarchy. It's like anything that's set in place that'll ultimately benefit the man, just because he's a man. And I wrote that women are more invested in the patriarchy than men are. It's like women sort of complain about the patriarchy, but then they do things and they behave in ways that keep the patriarchy alive and well. That post blew up on Threads, and I don't actually have comments of or screenshots of the comments. Let me read the top 3 right here. It says, "This is spot on. Women idolize patriarchy so much they don't want to destroy it. They want to try it for themselves." This is a public post. It's written by Trigger Mike Show on Threads. 𝘁𝗵𝗏 writes, "Right, because without it, how could they manipulate and gaslight everybody?" And then the top 3rd comment is Alice Polanco writes, "Sure, because women are the ones who get more affected by it." I can see all of those points. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example right now. In what ways do women keep the patriarchy going, perpetuate the patriarchy, or they invest more in the patriarchy than men are? Really, I wrote another post too, like that men basically sold us the idea of patriarchy. Is where, I mean, a man would have had to have come up with the patriarchy, maybe subconsciously, whatever, and women kind of just ran with it, and now we sort of compete with each other without really, like, we're fully aware with it. Anytime a woman goes out and their whole existence is centered around attracting a man and doing the things that men like so that you can attract the man, even if that means like putting another woman down or whatever. Then you're keeping it alive. That was a little a little post that I got into. I don't really respond to people who are rude. Anyone who has been following my van life diaries, anyone that has comments that I don't like, I used to just delete them. I used to have approval on my comments, but now I'm like, I'm welcoming all comments, but you really don't exist to me if you can't talk to me like a rational adult, like a level-headed adult. So most of this is just for entertainment purposes for me, and I also think it's good for me to just sort of observe human behavior. It's fun to observe human behavior, I'm not gonna lie, especially on TikTok. But Threads is coming out the woodworks right now, looking like it's a lot of men on here, and it's mostly men's behavior that I'm observing. This next post, it didn't get any comments, but it got a lot of likes. I wrote, "A healed woman with her life together won't be impressed by a man's flashy gifts and cash. He needs to dig deeper." That, again, really doesn't need an explanation. Got a lot of likes on it. Pretty sure they were all women. This is the one, didn't get that many comments. Got a lot of likes on that. Got some comments. I wrote, "Marriage won't magically stop him from cheating. Sorry." I know when I'm posting these, I'm basically looking for the person who's really, I'm looking for the person who's willing to be vulnerable and open up and basically acknowledge and accept that they're not perfect. They've made mistakes, that they can sort of relate to the post in some way. But what I'm getting are just, and this is all mostly across the board, a lot of triggered men, triggered people in general, but most of them are men who are just like sort of unwilling to address why they're feeling triggered and unwilling to address, like, I don't have anything to do with whatever the reason why you have to comment on my post. I don't have anything to do with it. And I don't owe you any kind of explanation onto what, I don't have to clarify. I don't have to help you. Like, this is your journey. And it's just like, yeah, it's interesting to watch. I'm just going to read the top 3 comments on that. "Marriage won't magically stop him from cheating. Sorry." Letters from Dad wrote, "Purpose and love will." JS Sashri wrote, "Or her either." And Marsock762 wrote, "Who the fuck is still getting married in today's day and age? Women aren't worth committing to. At this point, Western bullshit has ruined y'all. None of you are worth getting married to. I mean, seriously, look at it objectively. There is zero benefit for a man to marry one of y'all." All of these people, they're just speaking from their own experiences and their own level of understanding, I guess. Bless their hearts. It's funny when I specifically say him or her when I'm like singling out the men or singling out the women. There's always one person from the opposite side saying, well, women do it too, or men do it too, or they'll say not all men or not all women. And it's like, first of all, like, no fucking shit. Like, stop speaking from your trauma and like try and have a rational conversation. And that's always annoying. I always ignore those comments. Okay, next post I wrote, men assume marriage is the ultimate achievement and try to convince women that it's their dream too. Yeah, that one got basically a lot of, I didn't get any of the comments, but I do believe that, that men sold us the patriarchy and now it's like a self-sustaining system because we're keeping it going. You know, we're putting each other down. We're not sticking together as women. We don't have any kind of self-respect or respect amongst each other. Women have a hard time respecting women that they don't like, and women are really picky. Women have more deal breakers for a man than a woman would have. A man would have for a woman. I'm not trying to lean on either side, but yeah, it's hard for women to respect other women, and a lot of it has to do with men kind of convincing us that we should compete for them, or that we should go out and pursue them. Men don't really have that problem, right? Men don't really have that problem of just like having to go out and pursue. Maybe they do. They don't really have a problem with it, I feel like. They sort of convinced us to pursue them and put ourselves out there and like dim our light or lessen ourselves a little bit. It's all kind of twisted and fucked up. But men, I guess, okay. So men do go out and pursue, but they have an easier time with rejection. This is just me spitballing right now. I feel like men have an easier time with rejection than women do. So yeah, it seems like when they try and go and pursue men, it's sort of like they're also in competition with other women. Whether they're doing it deliberately or subconsciously, whereas men is like they sort of expect to be rejected, and that's why you see these like bum ass motherfucking men going after these crazy beautiful Instagram models or whatever. I don't know. I really don't fucking understand it. Okay. This is not really an interesting podcast. I'm just reading my posts, but yeah, it was just an interesting week, I think. This is another big one on Threads. I wrote, most men are not high value, and as a result, many women will settle for an average guy. Basically, I didn't get any comments, but basically all of the comments were from men. Either standing up for the average guy or spitting some. This one guy said, I have one comment, he said, as they should, by definition, most are average, so they aren't really settling. And I agreed with that. Like I said before in other episodes, like women have this over-exaggerated perception, a self-perception, that like view of themselves. And so they, and then it's perpetuated, like other actual 10s tell these like 3s and 4s that they're beautiful and that they should aim higher, and so they're going after these high men because they think like they're 10s, even though they're clearly 5s, right? And they're going after these high value men, and now all the high value women, the actual high value women, are like, where's all the good men? It's because you were like lying to this fugly girl respectfully. Like, you need to just really, what she should have done was encourage her to up her game, to increase her own attractiveness in some way, or to just date within her range. Like, don't go after the man that you're trying to go after. But women, they're catty with each other, and they tell each other, oh yeah, girl, you're a 10. And they go after these men, and these men just use them. The men will know. He knows you're a 5, thinking that you're a 10, and yeah. He knows he can get a 10. He knows he's a 10. You know what I mean? Like, So yeah, women have a delusional idea of their own like self-perception. Sometimes, I believe, for the most part. But really, we're all going to settle. At the end of the day, we're all going to settle. Okay? Because no one's perfect. And most of us are average. Most of men and women are average. Most of us. You're not in the top 2% of the most attractive people. And that's like fully rounded attractiveness I'm talking about. Like, if you're a fully attractive woman or man, like spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, all of it. There's not many of those people. Most of us are going to settle. And a lot of men got a little butthurt when I wrote that post, and that's cool. Like I said, you're going to have to deal with that. I'm not your therapist. I just say what I say, mostly for science. Yeah, I had a guy saying, the second comment said, most men settle for an average girl who is in delusion that she is extremely pretty or a big catch or something. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. We're all settling. We're all going to settle. Most of us are average. But in this post specifically, I singled out men. And they didn't like it. Most men are not high value is what I wrote. And they didn't like it. But hey, it is what it is. Is that all I got for threads? I wrote, women often seem to thrive and transform after leaving a man. Why do you think that is? I try and keep my posts balanced, men and women. And it's just funny to me to see the type of people who comment or are triggered to comment or about what certain things. So this post, of course, men, I got 2 comments on that one when I said, women often seem to thrive and transform after leaving a man. Why do you think that is? And Sawnwright writes, define often, define thrive. I would wager your presumption has no data or merit to it. Boo hoo. Boo fucking hoo. Why do women still want to be in a relationship with the man? This other guy writes. Wesley Hancock writes, why do women still want to be in a relationship with the man? You women tell us how great your life is without men, but you keep looking for a man. Why is that? See, what women say they want is never what their actions show they want. Women are really good at one thing, lying to themselves. This actually goes back to what I was saying when I said women are more invested into the patriarchy than men are. Really, the root to that post is men sold us the fucking idea of patriarchy, and now it's a self-sustaining system. Like, now we help run it with you guys, if not fully. Like, so that's where we say, we know our life could be great without a man, but, society tells us, i.e. us telling ourselves, i.e. someone else telling us that it's for ourselves, or whatever, that, hey, we're supposed to be with the man. Like, I don't know, there's a great big population of women who literally like live, breathe, and die for men. And that's their own right, I guess. But like, you tell me where the fucking problem started from. Like, someone wanted that to manifest so badly enough that they created a whole system around it. Come on. Respectfully, shut the fuck up. So he said, see, what women say they want is never their actions show they want. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Cry Me a River, you got some issues. What else did I write? A lot of these posts I've just reposted from other platforms. Let me delete these. This one I posted on TikTok and on Threads. Men are not typically allowed to express vulnerability and emotions in the same way women are. I don't know, just filling out for the men that day. And one guy, can't read his name, it's a public post, he wrote, it's a stigma, I don't really know how to explain it. People say it's okay to express, and I know that's right, but like it just doesn't feel right. And this other commenter wrote, I ain't allowed to do shit, meanwhile you live like you're in Disneyland. So yeah, this was obviously reaching out to the vulnerability side of the men out there, and only got those 2 comments. One person reshared it. because I think that's true. Men are not typically allowed to express vulnerability and emotions in the same way women are. And I remember posting that on TikTok, and one person commented, like, the patriarchy hurts us all. And that's basically it. Yeah, that's the downsides for men right there. That's kind of what you get, my love. Respectfully. Kind of what you get with the patriarchy. Really good posts here. I'm going to go over to the TikTok posts because I'm kind of getting bored with this right now. Kind of getting bored. I'm just going to look at the ones that got the most views this past week. This one was, I wrote, "A child's unawareness is innocent." By the way, follow me on TikTok and Spotify, specifically Spotify. Follow me on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Chandie Speaks, Chandie Speaks, Chandie Speaks. You can email me, chandyspeaks@gmail.com. Whatever's clever. You can comment, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks for listening, all the longtime listeners, all 8 of you. Trying to get those followers up, trying to get that engagement up, but this is me kind of just doing it here. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I'm gonna end this really quick on a couple of these rants on all this stuff that I posted on TikTok this past week. This one post, almost 1,000 views. I got, "A child's unawareness is innocent, but an adult's unawareness is ignorant." I'm trying to remember, what the hell was I thinking when I got into that? I don't know what inspired me to want to post that. It was probably just a repost. It was a repost, but it got a lot of comments and likes on it. It is kind of sad how adults, full-blown adults, aren't willing to take accountability or to just remain unaware of how their energy affects other people, and all that, and they blame other people, they play victimhood. It's really sad to see an adult do it. When I see a kid do it, I'm like, that's innocent, you'll grow out of it, hopefully. Or there's still time, but yeah, they're still learning. When I see an adult, I was like, oh wow, they're still learning. People who are older than me, that's crazy. If you stay ready, you never have to get ready. I like that a lot, because I was basically thinking about my car. When the ESC light came on, I'm like, I need to get in front of my car breaking down. It's just a part of van life, a part of driving your car full time. It's going to have problems. You're going to have to fix it. You're going to have to pay for it and invest in it. So yeah, I'm just trying to stay ready. Another thing, saving up for my fucking power station and solar panels. I don't like talking about it until it's like fully in motion, but that's coming down the chain too. Because I'm basically using hibernation season to get ready for the summer next year. The goal is to stay throughout the summer and have my van fully converted by spring. But if not, then I can always dip out to somewhere colder. I'm trying to get away from moving and migrating with the seasons. I've talked about this before. That's just been on my mind. So yeah, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. I don't really want to get into, I'm kind of bored already with this fucking podcast. This one got men need women, women need each other. I love posting that because I've posted that twice before on Facebook, like years ago, and every time I post it, I posted it on Threads, and every time I get like, yeah. Just like the last one, I said, the last post I made similar to that was successful men are married, successful women are single. Basically, that would offend all the single men who are unsuccessful and all the married women who are unsuccessful. This post was similar to that when I said men need women, women need each other. Mostly it triggered the men who basically believe that women should be bred and live and like just dedicate their whole life to just finding a man. Any man will do, Lord. Just send me a man so I can devote my whole life to this man. Can you tell me what an alternator is, please? I just can't think for myself. I just need a man to think for me. And I can just tell, like, there's a lot of butthurt, traumatized, diagnosed parts of men who were triggered by that when I said men need women need each other. Heavy emphasis on the women need each other part. I know it sounds nice to say, oh, women need each other. Oh, yeah, men need women and women need women. But really, no, women do kind of really need women. We are severely lacking in the solidarity part of this whole womanhood thing. Like I said earlier, like, if we stuck together, really stuck together the way men stick together, like, there's a universal bro code. We don't ever hear about a universal sister code. You're either a girl's girl, oh, I like her, or you don't like her because of whatever the fuck she said, or how she's dressed, or how men are paying attention to her, thus perpetuating the patriarchy. Like, women really lack solidarity. Women really, in this right now, more than ever, I think women need each other. No homo. Like, sorry. Like, we really do. More so than men would need each other. And like I've also said before, men need women. In order for a man to become successful, in my beliefs, he needs a strong woman by his side. He needs a strong, legitimate, fucking high-value woman. A woman who values herself, who is high value, who's, next to him. You don't ever see a successful man without a fucking strong-ass woman next to him. Period. So, yeah, men who obviously were unsuccessful or single and unsuccessful or whatever came on the post and got a little upset about that. We didn't see many women come on there because women are like, yeah, sis, back in the back of their head. Women don't really comment on shit like that. They'll just like it. But yeah, one guy did point out, and I had to agree with him, that women don't have circles. We don't have those circles like men do. It would be nice if we do. We're too focused on the wrong things. We're too focused on trying to get pregnant, or trying to get this guy, or trying to compete with this other girl. Women's friend circles tend to be very small. And sometimes they have rotating doors. Most of them that I'm recognizing, they have, rotating doors. You be going through best friends and sisters, like everybody's your sister. Everybody's your best friend. Like, come on. Men don't have that. Men have a universal respect for each other, and they know, like, I'm not going to call you my bro or my best friend unless you're not my fucking bro or my best friend. We can learn a little something from each other, I think. I think there's blind spots in both of us, in the men's side and the women's side, where neither of us are the perfect gender or the weaker gender or the better gender. That's bullshit. I don't like when women say, like, oh, we're the weaker gender, but then you turn around and say some shit like, oh, but who run the world, and we give life, and women are just so strong. Like, which one is it? Okay, are we so strong and we can do anything that men can do, or are we the weaker gender and, like, we got to watch our backs and, like, we can't take care of ourselves? We need a man to do it. Like, come on. It's a lot of like, I agree. There's a lot of, like, back and forth. Women, like, yeah, I've been guilty of it. I'm not coming from a judge. I've been there. And I see it too. We come from, like, this delusional fucking state of mind, and we just can't just ground ourselves in some reality. About ourselves, about our own awareness, about everyone else. And I wrote a post this week, right after I wrote, that's basically the one that blew up. Right after I wrote, about men are not typically allowed to express their vulnerability and emotions in the same way women are. I did a post that said, life is typically easier for women because they're given many opportunities that men are required to earn. Okay. All right. I know. Bitches were mad. I didn't think women were actually on TikTok, but don't you ever be a woman and talk about another fucking woman from a woman experience. Like, I can't even talk about my own fucking personal experience that just so happens to be, like, people internalize it from all over, from their own fucking trauma, and now I'm attacking all women. Like, I can't even speak for my own experience. Like, this this is women right here. I didn't have, even, like, the butthurt beta males that were commenting on all of the other posts that I've made collectively did not come and bully me as hard as these fucking women came in on this post. I can't even speak from my own personal experience. Yeah, life has been easier for me. I made it as a general comment. I said life is typically easier for women because they are given many opportunities that men are required to earn. Yeah, I made it generally. So yeah, that's probably why they were coming at me. But yeah, where else would I pull this fucking information out of? I kind of don't even really want to get into it because it was kind of funny to see women unravel coming from their own personal, like, maybe it was coming from an ignorant space. I'll admit that I had really no prior research until after people were asking me, like, what? And I was like, I wonder if there's actually any validity to it based other than just how I feel and me projecting my own fucking reality onto everybody else. And I actually looked up some shit, and women actually do get academic advantages, healthcare advantages, okay, shut the fuck up, shut up. A lot of women were coming at me like, what do you mean healthcare advantages? And I'm like, dude, like, you can look up, I didn't say any of it, I really just kind of left the conversation, but in my head, I was like, yo, you can literally go and find this information. Like, women are actually given a lot of advantages. We are the freest country in the world. With women's healthcare in the world, we have the best in the fucking world. And women, I don't know, they play this victimhood. First, they say that we don't have the rights when we do. Maybe you're in the wrong spot, or you're talking to the wrong fucking person, or maybe you're just being a cunt. I don't fucking know. Or you're identifying as a man. I don't fucking know. But not only that, but we have more rights than any other group of women all over the fucking world. Not only do we have the fucking rights, even though they say that they don't, but we're also like, I don't know, we're like backpedaling with this whole like, we're asking men for rights that first off, God already gave us. We're allowing men to, quote unquote, like dictate laws on women, and then we're saying that they're not giving it to us. And it's just so bass-backwards. Like, no one ever took your rights until you said that there was something to take. Okay, so now you have to go ask for it back. It's the same thing with, it's like, it sounds like it's voluntary right now. Like, maybe I'm sounding like a complete dumbass right now, but no one's going to tell me about any kind of thing with my body, personally. Granted, I don't put myself into situations where I'd have to make a choice on a human life and then have to give that choice to a man who doesn't give a fuck about my life at all. But it just seems so weird to me how we're claiming that we are empowered, we have all this power, and then we do things and we behave in ways like saying that, oh, we don't have, they still have more rights than us. They're still better than us. They're still granting us our rights. And it's just like, whatever. I that's why this whole like feminism shit is just kind of, this fake woke feminism shit is just such bullshit to me. It sounds like an accountability issue. It sounds like a personal victimhood issue that you got to work out with yourself. Like, I've never had an issue with whenever I've gone to the fucking doctor. Okay. I don't fucking know. So yeah, I sound like an ignorant piece of shit. A lot of people were mad about that. I don't really have anything else to stand on except for how I feel. I feel like women do kind of have it easy, especially when you go back to that respect thing. Women don't really have to like work their way and muscle their way to the fucking top. They kind of just have to like appear as the woman. Women get a lot of benefits just for being a woman. I know. No, people were like what? And I don't really have to name them off. I should, to not sound completely ignorant, but I just see it. Like, case in point, what the fuck was Kamala Harris doing as a vice president in the first place? No one's ever heard of this woman. If anyone's followed Candace Owens' podcast, highly recommend go follow Candace Owens' podcast, specifically when she did a family tree deep dive into fucking Kamala Harris leading up to the election. And it's fucking amazing. It's all a fucking joke. It's all a fucking joke. I don't vote. I don't care. That's my right as a human being. But yeah, how the fuck did she even get into office? Someone somewhere whispered to somebody that we needed a melanated woman in the fucking office, and now we got a vice president. I saw it from the day she got that she was elected as vice president in 2020. that, yeah, they're going to try and kill off Sleepy Joe here. They're going to try and kill him off within now to 2024 somehow, some way. And they're going to try and just make her a fucking president. Just like that. Just because. I'm sorry. I've never heard of Kamala Harris before 2020. Literally. So, yeah. I don't really care if it's based off of facts, but I'm just looking at how I see the world. Like, yeah, they just wanted a woman in office. I did a hot take on Facebook, totally ignorant and uneducated right now. But I said, successful men voted for Kamala, and successful women voted for Trump. I didn't vote for either one. But I kind of just said that mostly to trigger people, but also because that's kind of how my logic, that's how my spaghetti brain just sort of wired those two together, connected those two. It's like a man who is successful, which we've already sort of acknowledged, or at least I have, is typically married to a strong woman. And if he's married to a strong woman, most likely he's going to have heavy leaning feminist views. Most likely, okay? Most successful men, if they're married, I would like to believe that they're married to a fucking liberal, respectfully. And they're going to be like leaning more towards like he probably had no choice but to vote for Kamala because he was married to a heterosexual left-leaning woman. Maybe. I don't know. Successful women, which are typically single, in my observation and in numbers, I said voted for Trump. Probably, most likely, because a successful woman who is single is focused on her bag and focused on her own personal economy and trying to make herself great again type shit. I totally said that from an ignorant place, but I thought it was funny that I connected those together. Anyway, do I want to get out of here? What else did I post? I'm kind of over it. I'm really over it. I'm just kind of just filibustering right now. Go follow me. Pretty boring podcast this week. What other posts did I make? Go follow me on all the fucking platforms. Chandie Speaks. Making my way downtown. I wrote, you don't need a man, you need a purpose. That was a good one. Got back into my hula hooping for that one. I've been getting back into just hula hooping. Flying my drone a lot. They're going to be in this episode. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Nothing else big is going on. My dog, it gets to chill at basically like a dog daycare all throughout the day while I'm at working. So life is pretty chill for me right now. Medicated, motivated, elevated. I think I'll see you guys next week.